Well, good evening, everybody, in Marnold's class world, specifically those students in Marnold's CHV2O class. Sorry I won't be around for the next couple of days, but hopefully this video will help guide you along in the super exciting activities about levels of government and branches of government for civics class. So here we go. Hopefully what you're seeing on your screen is the same thing I'm seeing on my screen. The first thing you need to do for today's class, and if you're watching this video you probably already got there, is to go to the classroom page. And the classroom page has some links on it. There are two videos that you need to watch specifically. One is on the Canadian government system, and one is on the levels of government in Canada. And we are going to learn about the branches of government in Canada and how the government operates, and also we're going to learn who does what in Canada. So for instance, if it's criminal law is covered by the federal government, and also things like the RCMP and so on, but you will do an activity today and tomorrow for that. You'll also learn who are your representatives, so your provincial representatives, or MPPs, members of provincial parliament, and your federal representatives, or members of parliament, MPs. Here we go. I don't want to give too much away because the videos are super exciting. They're about 2 minutes long, so yeah. Here we go. So the first activity that I would like you to do today is to quite simply watch the two videos and look at this diagram here. So this diagram is your branches of government in Canada, and it's the same kind of thing that you're going to see in the two videos. So we have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. And that's just like what we were talking about on Friday, the somewhat scary realization that Bill C-51 is actually throwing the balance off between these three branches of government, which are supposed to balance themselves out for the interests of us, the people of Canada. So we also have, so these are the three branches of government. We have three levels of government here too. We have federal, provincial, and municipal. And later in this class, I'll be showing you how to find out who your different representatives are. All right, moving on. The next activity that you'll be looking at is the branches of government activity. So when I refer to the branches of government activity in this lesson today, this is what you are looking at. That's the third activity you'll be doing. This here is the activity you'll be doing as well. So as in any case, what I would like you to do is make a copy of this activity, which is your levels of government diagram. So levels of government diagram. This is the activity that I'll be expecting you to have done by the end of Monday's class. So make a copy of this, arrange it in your CHV2O folder, and then you can place your name in the middle of the diagram simply by double-clicking on it. And anywhere within the diagram, if you want to add your own answers, you simply single-click and begin typing. So here is how we are going to complete this activity. And the one thing I've forgotten to give you is the link to the website for today, which we'll go to right now. So the CW Civics website, under Where Do I Start, is where you'll need to go. And that will lead you to a page that looks like this. But what I'm going to do for you, because I'm an awesome teacher, is simply copy the link for this and put it on today's classroom page. Monday, that is. It's going to appear as the Where Do I Start link in your announcement for Monday and Tuesday. You click on that link there, and it takes you to this page here. So now we have your different information for the local, municipal, provincial, and federal government, and you have your levels of government diagram. All right. Looking at this diagram, I've already filled in a few different pieces of information for you. So we have the federal government, which is the ring that goes around the outer part. The provincial government, which is your middle ring here. That's all the information for provincial government, and your inner ring, which is the municipal level. So I've already filled in the leader of the federal government right now, which is Prime Minister Stephen Harper. So the box that you'll have to fill in here, the provincial level, is the Premier of Ontario, and the inner ring will be the Mayor of Centre Wellington. So in this case, it'll be Centre Wellington that you'll be looking at. Your representatives for the federal level, as I was saying before, that's your member of provincial parliament for Centre Wellington. And this will be your, sorry, whoops, your member of parliament for Centre Wellington, or that's MP. There we go. And then in the middle ring, it will be your member of provincial parliament. Or Centre Wellington. And finally, in the middle here, it will be your ward councillor. Let's make that a little smaller. There you go. This one too, we'll knock that down to 12, and there you go. So you'll need to do a simple Google search to find out that information in there. I've already filled those in for you, and the names, this is where the names of your representatives for this area go. And the way that you're going to do that is quite simply by taking this term here and copying it and pasting that into a Google search here. There we go, member of provincial parliament for Centre, member of Centre Wellington. And it comes up as Ted Arnott. You'll do the same thing if you're looking for the member of parliament for Centre Wellington. So, which is spelled wrong, I know, it's underlined in red. It is Michael Chong. And there we go. And it doesn't want to change that, but that's okay. That's okay. And the way that I figured those two pieces of information out was by doing this, and I'd like you to do this tomorrow, is to go back to what's called a ridings map. So we have federal, provincial, and municipal. So if you're looking on a ridings map, that is where you find where you are located in Ontario. So if you're ever going to vote at the provincial or federal level, you need to look at the ridings map here. This is also where you find the name of the leaders. We have the office of the Premier and the office of the Prime Minister. So looking at the federal level, this is where I found Michael Chong. You go to the Elections Canada map, which I've so conveniently attached for you here. Oh, well, there it is. And so you can see, if you zoom in on Wellington Halton Hills, that is your riding there, Wellington Halton Hills. And you can see Centre Wellington here in the corner. So that's how I found out Elections Canada under the federal government. That's how I found out what riding we are a member of. at the school, I mean. So I'll close that out. And then if you're looking at elections Ontario or the provincial level, you quite simply click on the map. And it's really easy if you're figuring out where to vote, because both the Ontario government and the federal government have named the riding the same thing. So as you can see here, if I zoom in, it is also Wellington Halton Hills. And you can see on here the easier that Wellington Halton Hills is a huge, huge riding here that goes right around Guelph. It gives it like a nice little map hug. There's Guelph there, which is my riding. So you can see Wellington Halton Hills curves all around to Puss Lynch, Center Wellington, Erin, and so on, Guelph Aramosa as well. Alrighty. So please take a look at those maps, because you'll need to know that information to fill in who your elected representatives are. So we've now done Parliament, which is the federal level. We've done the member of provincial parliament, or MPP. You'll need to find out the name here. And finally, your ward councillor. And the way that you find ward councillor is to first find what ward you are in. So you need to find your ward. And that way, what we can all do is go through the motions to find the ward for Centre Wellington High School. So under local and municipal government here, we have a Centre Wellington ward map, so conveniently pasted again for you on the CW Civics website. You're going to click on the ward map here, and ta-da, there we go. So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at the ward for Centre Wellington High School itself. So we have second line, which leads out to Highway 6, which is here. We have Jones Baseline heading into Scotland Street here. So that would mean that the high school would be right around this area here. If you can see my black cursor there. And we are on this side here, the side road 6 or Highway 6 side of Jones Baseline. So that means we are actually in Ward 4. So we are in Ward 4. If you live in Centre Wellington, you have Elora and Fergus here, and these are the different wards. You can see there's Elora and Salem here. If you're outside of that, say in Mapleton or Alma area, it'll be different. But what you will have to do eventually is find out who your ward councillor is for your particular ward. If we're using Centre Wellington District High School as a model for this, then what we do to find our ward councillor is we go to here and we go to Centre Wellington Town Council contact information here, and bing bang boom, we know that the mayor is Kelly Linton, which we can fill in on our diagram here. So Mayor Kelly Linton here. But what we're looking for is the Ward 4 councillor. And we find out that our Ward 4 councillor is Councillor Fred Morris. And it has his home address, if you ever want to knock on his door and ask him any questions about your particular ward. There it is. You can also call him at home or email Councillor Morris here. So that's Councillor Fred Morris for Ward 4. So you'll go through the same steps to find your ward councillor for your ward. So we'll do that one more time. So on the diagram, we know that we need to find our ward councillor. This is the municipal level here. So we know that we are in Ward 4. And we have to find our ward councillor. So we know that we're on Ward 4 because we looked at this, which is the ward map. And the ward map we found here, Centre Wellington ward map. Once we determined that we are in Ward 4, again, here, there's Centre Wellington High School, we needed to go to the CW Civics website and go to Center Wellington Town Council contact information here. When we clicked on that, it opened this page which revealed the name of the mayor, which was good because we needed that, but it also revealed the name of our Ward 4 councillor, Councillor Fred Morris. Ta-da! Just like that. The other parts of the diagram, if we go back to the diagram, are things like the location of the different buildings. So you'll need to figure out what the building name is that houses the provincial government. I already have the one for municipal and for federal, but you'll need to find the location here and the location of the provincial government as well. Big hint, it's where I am today, Monday, with my law class. Alrighty, so now that we have the information we need to complete this diagram, remember to put it in your folder. Awesome. Super work. So I can close that off now. Yay! Click. And click. There it goes. The next thing we're doing is this. Knowing that we have branches of government, each branch of government, as it said in the original video today, has its own particular things that it governs over, it makes laws for, and so on. So also enforces those laws. So if I close off the branches of government diagram, we have this activity here. So this is the branches of government activity. And you are quite welcome to do this activity in groups of, say, 3 or 4. And that's fine with me. There's a lot of information on here, and it's best if you split it up. And this is how you are going to figure out the information on here. Okie dokie. So if we have the word agriculture, we also have some search hints, because if we're doing our work online, we need some search hints here. So chances are, if it's a federal government level, our search, you can use the keywords agriculture and the keyword Canada. So this is what I mean by that. If we have agriculture Canada, we're going to open up a search tab here, agriculture Canada. Now, if agriculture Canada has a branch at the federal level, which we can tell by the suffix gc.ca, then agriculture is a responsibility of the federal government, which it is. So what you do then is you go back to your branches of government diagram and you put an asterisk or a check mark or anything you want under federal, because we know that agriculture is a federal responsibility. Now, to search on a provincial level, and the hint here is that some of these actually do have either 2 or 3 levels of government responsible for them. So it's not just one level of government. For some, there may be many or all 3 levels of government responsible for it. So the search function for provincial government is Ministry of, and then whatever keyword you have over here. So I'll change this now from Agriculture Canada to the Ministry of Agriculture. And there it is. So here's the hint for you. We have the word Ontario. We have Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs with the suffix now gov.on.ca, which means the Government of Ontario, Canada. And what I've done, quite simply, is put an asterisk under provincial, just like that. Good. Now if it's municipal, what you'll have to do is use your keywords to search the Centre Wellington website, which is available here. Now the chances are, if it is federal and provincial, there may not be a municipal branch of this. So what I'm going to do is just type in agriculture and see if there's anything to do with government, say the town council, and agriculture. So from the looks here, we do have something about investment, and you can do some searching for this, but I can tell you straight away that agriculture is not something that is governed by the municipal government. Now, don't get too confused by this. If you can't find anything under municipal government, or it's slightly confusing and not as definite as the federal government and provincial government were, leave this column blank. Do not put a check mark there. All right. The one exception to this is that parks, as you'll see, will be one that has all three. So we have Parks Canada, which we find out by doing the search Parks Canada. Now, the Ministry of Parks is not something you're going to find here. It's actually something different. So you could say, quite simply using the keyword provincial, you would say provincial parks. There we go. And we have Ontario parks. There. So we know that there are Ontario parks or provincial parks that you can camp in, places like the Pinery, and therefore the Ontario government is responsible for that. Now, so we know we have Parks Canada, but we also know municipally we have Parks and Recreation, which is an entire department within Center Wellington. There it is, Recreation, Parks, and so on. There you go. Recreation and leisure. And these are things like Bissell Park, Laura Conservation Area, or no, sorry, that's not a municipal one, but the Center Wellington Community Sportsplex and so on. Alrighty. So these activities should take you the next couple of days at least to get them done. And yeah, if you are confused again, just leave some of these blank. It's okay. We'll take them up when I get back, and you can use the balance of the time over the next couple of days to work on your postcards, which are due Friday. If you have any questions, send me an email. You can also leave a message or a post on the classroom page. But otherwise, that is about it for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I sure did. Whee! And somewhere in here, I know I can also find my way back. There we go. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I know it's not going to be as wonderful as it could be because I'm not there. Again, send me any messages if you need any help, and I'll see you all, or y'all, on Wednesday. Good night.